Alright, so on November 19th, there was an event that revolved around tech transfer. On that day, I set up 2 reactions, one before and after the event, both for Reddit Reflux. And after the event, or after I set up the reaction after the event, Blum called through the lab and told everyone that there was still food in Cowlet 2. That's where the event was held. And she suggested that people come get food. But I already had food waiting for me at home, so I went home, ate, and then came back. And then I found out that my hood was flooded with water. It turns out that one of the hoses that was in the sink and connected to the one of the reflux condensers was not in the sink anymore. And because of that, there was a puddle of water, a very, very large puddle of water, I might add, in my hood, So the only grad student in the lab was Kim too, and I asked her what happened, and she told me she didn't know. And then Blum walks in, she has this weird look on her face, and that raises suspicion. She goes back to Kim and talks to her. She's on the other side of the lab, by the way, and I hear one part of the conversation. Oh, I just pretended like I didn't know what he was talking about. So now I'm thinking Blum wanted me to come to Cowlet 2 and get some food. When I didn't, she got pissed, and then ordered, and as a form of retaliation, she basically flooded my hood. I honestly don't think she's above that. That's a reasonable explanation, So after her conversation with Kim, she comes talk to me, and she asked me what reactions that I'm doing, and she inquires about a particular reagent in said reaction. But instead of asking a direct question, she just says, "Oh, this reagent, huh?" And then expects an explanation of some sort. And that kind of just drives me up a wall, because on top of being a horrible boss, she has this mixture of stubbornness and arrogance that is just unmatched. It's she can't even admit when she doesn't know something and just ask for clarification. At least that's what it seems like sometimes, So I give her explanation, and yeah, I give her the explanation, and she walks off. I end up, oh, she didn't ask me about the water in my hood, and I know she saw it. If she had nothing to do with it, you would think that she would ask, right? She didn't, which I thought was kind of suspicious. So after my quick explanation, she walks off, the night progresses, and then on Friday, the 21st of November, I remind her that the letter of rec for the Merck Fellowship is due. So, and I also asked her for her advice on what I call my proposal. Okay, the camera's still on. And she basically just repeats back to me what I thought I should do. And, sometimes I'm not entirely sure if she thinks that what I'm doing is a good idea, or if she just, doesn't really want to help me, And with regards to the application, for the Merck Fellowship, I have this bad feeling, this bad taste in my mouth. I sometimes think that, well, a part of me thinks that Blum, or maybe even Noack, won't submit a letter on my behalf, and they've already agreed to do so. So this is just a gut feeling. I really have no reason to believe this, but it's a gut feeling. Well, anyway, the 24th, Monday comes around, and Monday morning I am asking Darius Fazy about gold 1 chloride. There supposedly is a bottle of gold 1 chloride in this glove box, but I couldn't find it in the group 11 bin. So Fazy told me to okay, cool. So Fazy told me to look in this bin where there were 2 pieces of aluminum foil. I look at the 2 pieces of aluminum foil, and they have pieces of glassware that belong to the microscope project. I'm like, okay, that's very suspicious. Why would he have me looking here when it's the materials in this bin correspond to a different project? And you know, the glassware that he had me reach for, that I didn't know I was reaching for, is apparently very sensitive, you know, and can break easily. So it's like, man, if I messed up and broke this glassware, they would have swore up and down that I did that shit on purpose. Even more interesting, apparently FaZe tried to dry materials in the small antechamber of the glove box overnight, and somebody moved the materials into the glove box before they were fully dry. And you know, he asked me about this, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't even know stuff was in the antechamber. But you know what I think is funny? It seems like people in the lab are messing with other people's stuff and trying to blame me, but really they're just fucking each other over. Like, I think that's fucking hilarious. And, you know, just as long as they keep me out of their little circle of sabotage thing, I am just fine with them fucking each other over. So, that happened on the 24th, well, Tuesday morning. So, back to Monday. So, since I couldn't find gold 1 chloride, I used gold 3 chloride. And, you know, I set up 4 reactions that were supposed to be done by the time group meeting started at 6. And, you know, time for group meeting just, like, it comes. And I set the reactions, like, in my aside of my hood. And I get to the group meeting room, and, everyone is there but Darius FaZe and Nicole Nava. So Darius FaZe is a graduate student that's in my year, and Nicole is his undergraduate that is working under him. And like their alibi is that they were going to the mass spectrum to analyze data, which is weird because it's right before group meeting. You know when group meeting is. Why are you going to go analyze data at this very instant? So I'm thinking, oh, that's convenient. Now they have an excuse to go back to the laboratory, look through my notebook, and maybe even open my reaction to, like, the atmosphere so oxygen and water can get in. I don't think Darius FaZe is above that, based on my experience with the guy, you know. But it really didn't matter at that point because the reactions were already done. Yeah. So, I can honestly say that the longer I stay here, the more reasons that I have to leave or not want to be here anymore. Sometimes it seems as though I'm completely surrounded by ignorance. It's like sometimes people don't even try to do the right thing, or just to do the bare minimum, you know. Sometimes I just think the people around me are just completely toxic and that they're no good for me, and I should just, you know, push them out of my life forever. And you know, they still do the, you know, the mouth wording thing. They haven't picked up the fact that I don't understand any of that. Like, based off the fact that I was treated as a second-class scientist, I can honestly say I honestly don't see the point of putting forth effort in trying to get to know people anymore. I just don't think people are worth it anymore. But if you would like to effectively communicate with me, you're gonna have to speak, preferably words in English. Please don't whisper, because like people try to whisper at me from across the room, and it's weird. Like you know, I at times I don't even, like, when I see people do this, I don't know if they're actually talking to me or not, but like they're making eye contact with me, so it makes me think that they're trying to communicate somehow, but like it's just not working. Yeah. One thing I can say for sure is that I'll be happy when I can leave her.